Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts, like the chart behind me, which is of GameStop, ticker symbol GME. And so here we are looking at the daily chart on Friday, May 3rd, after the market has closed, and GameStop closed at a price of $16.47, being up just over 29% on the day. But it was a pretty remarkable day. And I have to say, I actually did not expect price to be closing above $15. So, I do think this is pretty great. And one thing that I think is also awesome about the price closing so high is the max pain. So if we do flip over to maximumpain.com and look at GameStop for the expiration of May 3rd, we can scroll down and see that the max pain for today was $11 a share, which does suggest that market makers will likely be having to cover for options that expired in the money above $11 a share, which means they will be buying shares. And so this could be triggering a gamma squeeze, sending the stock price even higher. And so these are levels that I wanted to go over because I do think they will be important either as support or resistance. And so, some of them are to the upside, most of them are to the upside, but one is to the downside, and that is at $15 a share. And so the reason why I have that up here is because, I didn't think that price would be closing up at this level because it had bumped into it as resistance. I did not think it would be closing above $15 or $16 a share today. But of course, we got this massive squeeze. But, I do think that it might need to cool off. And if it does cool off, I think $15 will serve as a great level of support. And the reason for that is if I do throw up the volume profile here, we can see this nice volume shelf corresponding with the consolidation that we saw over here. Now that price is above that, if it does pull back to that level, that will now be acting as support. And so I do think that could be a great dip buying opportunity before a continuation higher. And so I could definitely see a price getting up to $18 a share, marked by the orange line. But I do think that could be resistance, as we were not able to get above that level today, hitting a high of $17.45, so being just a little bit below $18 a share. But if price can get up to $18 a share, I do think that would be acting as support, just like I feel like $15 will be acting as support. And the reason for that, again, if I do throw up the volume profile, we can see that this volume shelf here does start to taper in around $18 a share. So there is going to be a lot of support below that level. And if we're closing above it, I think we'll be staying there, maybe forming a bull flag before continuing higher. And then so the next level that I do have marked here is $24 a share. And you can see with this volume profile that we do have another volume shelf there. So that might be acting as resistance. But again, if we can close above it, I do think that could be the next level that GameStop resides at. And the reason why, as you can see, as I take a step back, that this level will be significant is, again, there is another volume shelf there corresponding with the consolidation over here. Any of that price action above that level may be acting as resistance, meaning that there were buyers at this level, and since they've been holding the bag for over a year, they might want to trim their position there. And so because of that, there might be some resistance. But, I do think that if price does get above that level, like I said, this volume shelf will then be acting as support. And just scrolling back even more, the next level that stands out to me is $30 a share, corresponding again with consolidation over here being the top of this consolidation that we see here, and having acted as support here, I do think that will again be acting as resistance. And then we do see this kind of thick volume shelf here. That will, of course, be resistance, getting up to right around $40 a share. I do think that would, of course, be great for price to be getting there. And if we see closes up at that level in the coming weeks, because who knows, I do think $40 a share, or $39.30 where the cursor is now, I do think that approximate level will then act as support before continuation higher. But of course, we could be getting rejected from any of these levels, so it is good to be cautious about that and be buying on pullbacks to then find support for it to serve as a launch pad before moving higher. And so I do view that if price does pull back to $15 a share, that would be a great level to get some more at a discount before the next leg up. But of course, since we've seen such bullish action over the course of the past couple days, I do think that could continue into next week, especially closing well above max pain. So I do think this could be launching. And actually, the reason why I have $47.99 marked here, that was the high hit on August 8th of 2022. And that stands out to me as a key level, and that is actually related to the RSI that I have down here. Because if you notice, the current RSI is at 74.14, so breaking above 70, which means it is in the overbought territory. And if we do look at the last time the RSI was above that level, that was going back here to March 28th of 2022. And we had a higher high in the price as well as the RSI. But all of these other highs that we've seen correspond to RSIs that are lower than the current RSI. And so that means that we have put in a higher high with the RSI going back to this date of August 8th, whereas with the stock price, we have been putting in lower highs. And while that is not bearish divergence, that is actually hidden bearish divergence, seeing lower highs in the stock price and higher highs in the RSI. And so because of that, in order to negate that hidden bearish divergence, we need to be seeing the stock price going up to $47.99 or higher in order to negate that. And I suspect we will at some point be seeing a pullback before getting to $47.99, but maybe not. Maybe we negate that and maybe we really, start to go back up to these prior highs. But I do think that we will be finding support along the way up, and I do think that these levels will be either key resistance or support, so I do think it's good to be paying attention to them, buying at support as the stock continues its journey up higher to these levels, which I suspect we will be seeing in the coming weeks, if not months. So it's going to be an exciting summer, and I'm looking forward to it. But, those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching.